So, good morning, student. Today we will start part number 4 for the coordination chemistry. Okay. In last video we have started isomerization in the complexes. Isomerization in the coordination compound. Okay. So basically, see here what happened. There are two type of isomerism occur in the coordination compound. Number one is their stereo isomerism, exactly, and number two is there, what is that? Structural isomerism. In last video we have seen stereo isomerism, we have finished this. Okay, today we will study the structural isomerism and their types. Okay, so see here, there are four types of structural isomerism: number one, number two, number 3 and number 4. Okay, in that, see here, ionization, isomerization. After that, linkage isomerization. Next is the coordinate, or you can say coordination isomerization, and last is hydrate, or we can say solvated isomerization. Okay, so exam point of view, this is very important. Many times question will be asked on this topic. So let us start from the first one, that is mean by ionization isomerization. So what happened, what is mean by ionization isomerization? Okay, so this is the phenomenon of isomerization occur in the metal complexes. Okay, occur in the metal complexes where there is a exchange of ligand, from inner sphere and outer sphere. Okay, from inner sphere and outer sphere. I mean to say, what happened, inner sphere means coordination sphere and outer sphere means what? Whatever ions are available outside the bracket. That type of phenomenon is called as ionization isomerization, and such isomers are called as ionization isomers. Okay, so example is there, see here, for example, CO NH3 by 4, exactly, CO NH3 by 4, Cl2 Br, okay, and see here, CO NH3 by 4 Cl Br and here Cl. So here what happened, see here, Br minus and Cl minus are going to exchange from inner sphere and outer sphere, see here there is Cl2, here there is a Br. In next isomer what happened, Br come inside and Cl go outside. So such type of exchange of ligand occurs, and that type of examples are nothing but the ionization isomers, and such a phenomenon is called as the ionization isomerization. Okay, many example you can take. Okay, and again we can take second example. See here, Cu NH3 by 4. Okay, here we write F2 and here we write Cl. After that, see here, Cu NH3 by 4 FCl and here F. Okay, so it is also a best example of the ionization isomerization. Okay, what is this? Example of ionization isomerization. Okay, ionization isomerization. Now let us start second, linkage. See here, linkage isomerization. Now this is very important. Now this is the phenomenon of isomerism. Okay, occur in the complexes which contain same central metal atom, same central metal atom or same central metal ion, and ligands are also same. Only difference is that the ligands which are going to attach to the central metal ion, that are via different atom, For example, see here, for example, CO NH3 by 5 NO2. Exactly, CONH3 by 5. Is that clear? Now see here what happened here. Okay, after that CONH3 by 5 O and O. Now see here, both the molecules are same, I mean complex are same. Here connectivity to the cobalt is via nitrogen, exactly, and here connectivity to the cobalt, here we can write here no doubt +2 and here +2 first. Okay, so here see here cobalt is connected, coordinately connected to the nitrogen, and here cobalt is connected via oxygen. So in both the complexes molecules are same, central metal same, ligands are same, only connectivity via nitrogen and via oxygen. Such a type of ligands are called as ambident ligand. So most of the complexes which exhibit or which contain such an ambident ligand are generally linkage isomers of each other. Okay, and that's why their properties are absolutely different. Actually what happened, this first complex is yellow in color, while second isomer is the red in color. So it's clear that here physical and chemical properties are varying or different. Understood? Okay, so such a type of examples are called as the example of linkage isomers. Again we can have another example. See here, if we write FeH2O by 5 SCN. Okay, before that what we will call, this will be known as nitro complex. Okay, nitro, and this will be known as nitrito. Already in IUPAC nomenclature we have seen this. Okay, we have seen this. If you want to write the name, how will you write? You can write the name, no problem. How will you write? Pentaamine, exactly, pentaamine, nitro, cobalt, how many? Iron, exactly. Here what will you write? Pentaamine, nitrito. Understood this? Nitrito, cobalt, iron. Okay, similarly we have this example. See here, FeH2O by 5 SCN. Okay, here I am going to write +1. Another FeH2O by 5 H2O by 5. Now see here we have to write in this way the ligand. Now here iron is connected via sulfur, iron is connected via nitrogen. So such a type of bonding is there, sulfur, and here there is a by nitrogen. Okay, such a type of examples are the example of linkage isomerism. Okay, where molecular formula is same, ligand, central metal atom or ion, or everything is same. How to write name here? Yes, here we can write the name penta aqua, exact, penta aqua, thio, cyanato, okay, ferrate, iron. We have seen this in IUPAC nomenclature, don't worry about that. Penta, aqua, iso, thio, cyanato, ferrate, iron. Exactly. So in this way we can write their names, no problem. Okay, now see here, next, in next category what is there? Coordination isomerism. Third one is the coordination. See here, coordination isomerism. Now focus here, what is meant by coordination isomerism? So in this coordination isomerism what happened, we have to take ionic coordinate compound. That means single complex compound contain two ions. For example see here, CONH3 by 6 3 plus, CrCN by 6 3 plus. Okay, now see here, this is your first complex. Okay, now what happened, I am going to write second example and. Okay, CN by 6 3 minus and CrNH3 by 6 3 plus. Now see here capital A and capital B complex. This is complex A, this is complex B. Both contain cation and anion. Okay, cation and anions here. So we can write here it is the cationic, it is your anionic. Exactly, this is your anionic and this is your cationic. Now what happens? See here. In such a type of isomerism, this is the phenomenon where there is an exchange of ligand takes place between the cationic and anionic complex having different metal ions, different metal ions, say cobalt and chromium. In the first example, see here, cobalt is surrounded by 6 ammonia. In the second example, cobalt is surrounded by 6 cyanide, while chromium surrounded by 6 cyanide. Here chromium is surrounded by 6 ammonia ligand. So in this way there is a simply exchange of ligand occurs. Such a type of examples are called as coordinate isomerization. Okay, and such a type of examples are coordinate isomers. In textbook or whatever reference you have, you can take many more examples like this. Okay, and it's very easy. In the examination, what happened, they will supply you proper example, and based on that you have to identify the specific structural isomerism like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, chalo. Now let us go for the hydrate or solvated isomerism. Last isomerism. What is that? Hydrate and solvated. Now see here, this is also very easy. So first now let us consider what? Hydrate or solvated isomerization. So in this isomerization there is an exchange of water molecule. Solvent means what? Water molecule from coordination sphere to the outer sphere. I mean to say there is an exchange of water in between inner sphere and outer sphere. Such a type of examples are called as solvated or hydrated isomerization. For example, see here, for example, let us write hydrated isomer for the following. Okay, for the following. In this example you will clear your idea for the following molecule. Okay, so let us have this molecule. What is that? See here, COCl3 6NH3. Okay, now see here, 6H2O, sorry, 6H2O. Now for this we will write the hydrate isomer. See here what happened, basically it is like this, COH2O by 6 and Cl3. Okay, so see here what happened. First we write COH2O by 5 Cl2H2O. See here what happened. One of the water molecule go outside and one of the chlorine come inside. So there is an exchange between the water molecule and counter ion in between the inner sphere and outer sphere. Next possible is there COH2O 4, it will be Cl2 and it will be Cl twice H2O. Exactly. After that, see here again one more isomer is possible, COH2O by 3 Cl3 and here thrice H2O. So such a type of isomers are called as the hydrated or solvated isomers. So in this way we have completed what? In this way we have completed structural isomerism and hence entire isomerism in the coordination compounds. Okay, thank you. Now the part of isomerization has over. So today we will see here bonding theories in the metal complexes, okay, which is very, very important and next portion of the coordination compound. Okay, now listen carefully what I am saying. Okay, what is the topic? See here, our topic is that bonding theories in the metal complexes. Okay, bonding theories in the metal complexes. Okay, guys, now we will see bonding theories in the metal complexes. Okay, so this is the portion remaining from the coordination compound, which is very important and understandable and very easy to understand. Okay, so what happens, see here everybody, hello. So first theory which we will study, what is that? VBT. Already you know very well what is VBT, valence bond theory, valence bond theory. So let us see one by one. Okay, so first we will see what are the salient features. Okay, salient features of this VBT. Okay, what are the salient features? Now listen here everybody, what happened. According to VBT, the central metal atom or ion, which is nothing but your metal. Okay, central metal atom or ion, what happened? It exhibit some vacant orbitals. Okay, it exhibit some vacant orbitals, and into that vacant orbitals the ligands which are surrounding to that donate their lone pair of electron. Okay, donate their lone pair of electron. And what happens here? The number of available vacant orbital for certain central metal atom or ion, whatever number of available vacant orbitals are there, that is exactly equal to the coordination number of the complex. For example, see here, CuNH3 by 4 2 plus, exactly. Now here what happens, Cu, what is the electronic configuration of Cu? Everybody know, 3D 9 4s2, we used to write like that, yes or no? We used to write like that. Now what happens here, when we write Cu 2 plus, what will happen? Its electronic configuration will be 3D8. Exactly, its electronic configuration will be 3D8. So what happens here? The total number of vacant orbital, that may be S, P, D or F. Okay, that may be what? S, P, D and F. So they will escaped the lone pair of electrons donated by the ligands. Donated by what? Ligands. Okay, now see here. Here Cu has 4 empty orbitals. Empty orbitals. Therefore, coordination number of this complex is how many? It is about the 4. It is about the 4. Now see here, what is the process for the formation of coordinate bond? So what happens here? Initially, the central metal atom or ion, whatever empty or vacant orbital it has, undergo hybridization. Okay, undergo hybridization and form same number of hybrid orbital, which is equivalent to what? Empty orbital. Which is equivalent to what? Empty orbital. Now that hybrid orbital will overlap with the incoming ligand. They will overlap with what? With the incoming ligand, and that incoming ligand which already contain a unpaired electron. Hybrid orbital contain one unpaired electron, that contain one unpaired electron. They will overlap with each other. Here metal orbitals are empty, only ligands contain a pair of electrons. That pair of electrons are inserted into the empty hybrid orbital of the metal, and in that way there is a formation of coordinate bond. For example, see here. For example, in case of Cu, okay, this Cu has such a type of empty orbital. Here I am writing here empty hybrid orbital. So each ammonia come here and donate a lone pair of electron like this. Donate a lone pair of electron and form a coordinate bond. 4 coordinate bond with the Cu according to this complex. Okay. Now the geometry or shape of the complex is depend on the type of hybridization exhibited by the central atom or central metal ion. Okay, so this its hybridization will decide the geometry or shape of the molecule. Okay, now see here. There are two type of ligands. How many types of ligands? Two types of ligand. One is strong field ligand and one is weak field ligand. So we will talk on this later. First we will see what happens here. Now suppose as far as metal is concerned, there are two type of orbitals. Which one? Inner orbital, and next one is what? Outer orbital. Okay, inner orbital and outer orbital. Inner orbital is written as n-1d and outer orbital is written as what? Nd. Okay, so whenever there is a involvement of inner d orbital in the hybridization, then there is a formation of inner complexes. Which complexes? Inner complexes. Okay, I will explain it later, don't worry. Inner complexes. Okay, inner complexes. And whenever there is a presence of outer orbital in the hybridization, there is a formation of what? Outer complexes. Okay, now see here. Inner complexes and outer complexes. These inner complexes, see here, inner complexes are due to what? Are due to strong field ligands. Understood this one? Or due to what? Strong field ligands. Strong field ligands means what? The ligand which have a donor like phosphorus, carbon, nitrogen, etc. Okay, whenever there is such a type of donor atoms in the ligand, then it acts as a strong field ligand. For example, see here, for example, NH3, okay, NH3, EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetate. After that, cyanide, okay, isocyanide, etc. Okay, again we can write in ethylene diamine, etc. So such a type of ligands are called as strong field ligand, and whenever there is a presence of strong field ligand, that complex becomes a type of inner complexes. I mean to say, such a type of inner orbital take part in the hybridization. Don't worry, when we will take actual example, you will get exact what does I mean here. Okay, so for a while just keep patience. Okay, don't take much more tension about this. Okay, now see here what happened. Inner complexes due to strong field ligand. Strong field ligand means what? Whenever there is a connectivity via such a type of atom present in the ligand like phosphorus, carbon, nitrogen. Okay, so what are the examples? Ammonia, EDTA, cyanide, Cn minus, ENC minus, ethylene diamine, etc. Okay, then such a type of complex also called as spin paired complex. Which complex? Spin paired complex. Why? Because there is a pairing of electron against rule. I will explain it later. Okay, such a type of complex are called as what? Spin paired complex, or also it is called as low spin complex. Low spin complex. Okay, so don't worry, I will explain later. After that, now it's turn for outer complex. So exactly opposite of that, outer complex is due to what? Outer complex is formed due to weak field ligand. Weak field ligand. Okay, so there are two types of ligand, strong field and weak field. Weak field ligand means what? Whenever there is a connectivity to the central metal atom or ion via X. X means what? Halogen. Don't worry. What is X? Halogen. After that, oxygen, sulfur, etc. Oxygen, sulfur, etc. For example, if you write example, oxalato C2O4, 2 minus, exactly, I minus, all halogens are weak field ligand, F minus, Br minus, okay, etc. Okay, again your SCN, isocyanide, etc. so and so are weak field ligand. So as a result of weak field ligand, what happened? There is a formation of spin free complex. Spin free complex. Remember, spin free complex, which are also called as what? High spin complex. Which are also called what? High spin complex. Also called what? High spin complex. Now, so this is about the VBT. After that, Again remember, whenever there is a presence of spin, I mean to say unpaired electron, then that complex is said to be colored and magnetic. Okay, remember, colored and what? Magnetic. And whenever there is a unavailability of unpaired electron, then that complex found to be colorless and diamagnetic. Okay, so everybody see here, this is about the VBT. You can repeat the video and understand the fact. In next time, I mean after that, we will take example of VBT, so that you will get a proper idea. Okay, so this is about the VBT. After the salient feature of VBT, let us see the application of VBT in terms of question. So listen here, this is very, very important. I am talking about an application of the VBT. Okay, so first we will write, there is a question, explain, see here, explain the structure of octahedral complex CONH3 by 6 3+ on the basis of VBT. So this is very common question asked for 3 marks. Okay, for how many marks? 3 marks. Here what you have to write? We have to write simple theory. Here we have to write what? Electronic configuration, available vacant orbital, how they undergo hybridization, how they overlap with what? How they overlap with ligands orbital, and for the coordinate bond. After that, we will see whether it is magnetic or diamagnetic, I mean paramagnetic or diamagnetic, etc. Okay, and last, geometry, which is very important. Okay, so here, listen here, solution, how to write the answer. See here complex NH3 by 6 3+. Okay, so central metal ion, what is that? Cobalt 3+, exactly, and NH3 is ligand. Okay, what is NH3? It is the ligand. Now see here, first we will write electronic configuration, cobalt 27. Is that clear? What is that? See here, direct we write valential electronic configuration, so it will give you 3d7 4s2, exactly, 3d7 4s2 27. Now see here, then what we want? We want same electronic configuration for what? Cobalt 3+. Then it will become how many? See here, it will have 3d6, then 4s0 and 4p0. So it will be like this: 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and it will be like this: 1 2 3. So 3d6, how to fill? 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, this is empty. So all these are what? All these are the atomic orbitals or metals orbitals. Okay, now see here what happened. Here remember, here ammonia is strong filled ligand. Okay, ammonia is what? Strong filled ligand, and therefore pairing of electron takes place against rule. How? Against rule means what? You know very well, there is specific rule for the pairing of electron, but this type of pairing will take place against rule. That is called spin pairing effect. What is called? It is called as spin pairing effect, and that's why we will get what? See here, we will get such a type of picture here: 1 2 3 4 5. Here we may write like this. Okay, 1 2 3. Okay, so what is that? It will be like this, it will be like this, it will be like this. Okay, so this is your 3d6, here 4s and here 4p. Now see here, this is called as the spin pairing effect against rule. It is because of the strong field nature of ammonia ligand. Now here what happened? 2d, 1s and 3p, so it will be d2s and p3. 2d, 1 2 1s and 1 2 3 p. These are the vacant orbitals. Okay, these are what? Vacant orbitals, vacant orbitals. Now these vacant orbitals undergo what? d2sp3 hybridization, and because of strong field it is called as involvement of inner d orbital. Therefore there is a formation of inner complex, and we will get what? See here, such a type of picture we will get. 1 2 3, total how many? 2 3 6, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, what is the name? All orbitals have name d2sp3, 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 here again d2sp3, and here d2sp3. Okay, so these are the vacant orbitals available for the hybridization. Already I told you hybrid orbitals is equal to coordination number, and therefore coordination number of this complex is 6. Now what happens here? Each ammonia ligand, how many? Each ammonia ligand, here ammonia are 6, so each of these 6 ammonia ligand donate their lone pair of electron into the vacant orbital of the cobalt metal ion and form how many? Form 6 cobalt ammonia coordinate bond. Okay, 6 cobalt ammonia coordinate bond, and in this way we get the octahedral geometry. In this way we get what? Octahedral geometry. Now see here, let us study the magnetic nature of this. Here see here, number of unpaired electrons are 0. How many? 0, and therefore this is diamagnetic in nature. Diamagnetic. Okay, diamagnetic in nature. This is the diamagnetic in nature. Okay, after that we can say it is inner complex. Okay, inner complex. So in this way we can write. Okay, now see here about the geometry. Geometry is octahedral, therefore we will write here like this. Okay, cobalt. Is that clear? How many ammonia? 6 ammonia will be there like this. Ammonia, 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 ammonia and ammonia. What is the charge? It has a charge of +3. Okay, it has a charge of +3. So here we can write octahedral geometry. Okay, which is what? Inner, due to the strong field ammonia ligand. Magnetic nature is diamagnetic. So finally you can write here, see here, complex. Okay, complex. After that hybridization. Okay, after that inner outer whatever, then magnetic behavior, and finally what is that? Geometry. Okay, geometry. So what happens here? Complex. Which is the complex? Ammonia. You must write this thing for the sake of simplicity. +3. Hybridization d2sp3, which is what? Inner one. D is involved inside here. Okay, so magnetic behavior, diamagnetic, and geometry, very important, octahedral. Okay, very important, what? Octahedral. So in this way we have completed the structure of hexaamine cobalt 3+ ion based on the VBT. Is that clear? Now see here, next question. Explain the structure of complex. Here we write complex. We change the complex now. Same question can be asked. See here, cobalt F6 3-. okay, on the basis of VBT. So listen here what I am doing. Same theory we have to start. Here we must write what? COF6, instead of plus 3 it will be 3 minus. Very good. Here fluorine is the ligand. Okay, now see here what happened. Now this is your electronic configuration as usual up to this cobalt 27. Okay, cobalt 3 plus 3d6 4s0 4p0. Now see here what happened. We can make same here. F is weak field ligand. How it is? It is the weak field ligand, and therefore pairing of electron will not take place against the rule. Okay, pairing of electron will not take place against rule. Instead of that, see here what will happen. Okay, now here fluorine is the weak field ligand, and that's why it will remain same. It will remain same. Now see here. Now how to write? Okay, so for cobalt 3 plus, here we can do cobalt 3 plus, it will give you 3d6, no doubt, like this. Okay, 3d6, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4. Okay, after that 4s0, it will be like this. After that 4p0, no doubt, according to above principle we have to proceed. Okay, and here it will be 4d. Okay, so it will have how many? 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now see here, this pairing of electrons will not take place against rule. Why? Because F is the weak field ligand. That is the important thing to note here. Actually it is the difference between the first question and current question. Now what happens? See here, here 6 ligands are there, therefore 1s, 1 2 3 3p, and how many d? 1 2 2d. Okay, these atomic orbitals undergo hybridization. Undergo what? Hybridization. Therefore we get sp3d2, which is what? Outer. You got the meaning of outer here? In previous example d was here, therefore it was inner. Now d is outside, therefore it is the outer complex. And in this way there is a formation of how many? 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 vacant orbital. Okay, so these are the hybrid orbital. How many hybrid orbital? 6 hybrid orbital. Now in each 6 hybrid orbital, fluorine donate their lone pair of electron like this. Okay, and form how many coordinate bond? 6 coordinate bond. 6 cobalt F coordinate bond. Now see here, here number of unpaired electrons are how many? Exactly, unpaired electrons are 4, and therefore see what happened. Now everything will be changed. Okay, everything will be changed. How many electrons are there? 4 electrons are there. Therefore we can calculate here magnetic moment. See here, magnetic moment, very important. Magnetic moment denoted by mu, which have formula n into n plus 2. Okay, unit is Bohr magneton. Okay, now n is nothing but the number of unpaired electrons, so put the value of n here. 4 plus 2. Okay, if you solve this, okay, how many? 24. You will get here 4.9 Bohr magneton. Okay, and therefore this complex is what kind of nature? Paramagnetic in nature, as well as it is colored also. We will see in CFT it is colored also. Okay, now geometry. So next it is the outer, of course, outer complex, and having geometry will be same. What is that? Octahedral. In short, you can draw like that. Okay, cobalt F. So it will have -3 charge. Okay, so in this way we can explain the structure of hexafluorido cobalt 3 ion in this way on the basis of VBT. Okay, now see here. Now we will go for some tetrahedral complex. Which one? Tetrahedral complex. See here. In short, we can have that question. So explain the structure of complex. See here, let us take the complex NiCl4 2- on the basis of VBT. Very simple. So directly I am writing now nickel. Okay, how many? 28. So its electronic configuration will be 3d8 4s2. Okay, 3ds 4s2 you can write, no problem, and 4d0. After that, here nickel has +2 oxidation state, therefore nickel +2 in ground state it will become how many? 3d8. Okay, so it will have like this 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 8. Okay, sorry, 6 7 and 8. After that 4s 0, it will be 0. After that 4p 0. Okay, and lastly 4d 0. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now see here Cl ligand, what kind of ligand? It is the weak filled ligand, therefore pairing of electron will be, according to rule, there is no any force for the pairing of electron, so there is no spin pairing effect, and therefore 1s, according to 4 coordination number, 1s 3p. Okay, 1s and 3p. Okay, now this is not necessary here, so this is the hybridization. Okay, forming how many hybrid orbitals? 1 2 3 4, 1 plus 3 hybrid orbitals. These are the 4 hybrid orbitals which are what? Vacant. Further, these 4 vacant orbitals are filled with 4 lone pair of electron given by 4 Cl atom in this way. Okay, in this way, and there is a formation of which type of geometry? Tetrahedral geometry. See here, which geometry? Tetrahedral geometry, like this. Here there is a nickel, Cl, 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 Cl. We can write here tetrahedral geometry. Okay, do not forget to mention here charge. What is the charge? -2. Now question is that, is it diamagnetic or paramagnetic? For that purpose we have to come here. Okay, now see here. So magnetism is depend on what? Magnetism is depend on the availability of number of unpaired electrons. Here number of unpaired electrons are how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so only 1 and 2 unpaired electrons are there. So unpaired electrons are 2. Is that clear? Therefore magnetic moment, which is denoted by mu, is equal to n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. So put the value. What will happen here? 2 plus 2. Is that clear? So which will be equal to how many? 8 Bohr magneton. So 8 means what? 2 point something Bohr magneton will be the value of 2.9 whatever Bohr magneton value of magnetic moment. Therefore this is paramagnetic in nature. So paramagnetic nature, geometry is there, tetrahedral. So in this way you have to proceed. Okay, now see here, let us change the pattern again. Okay, so what happened? Next question. What is next question? See here, explain the structure of complex. Let me know that complex. See here, Cn by 4, which Cn by 4 on the basis of VBT. Now same, only difference is that this Cn is strong field ligand and therefore pairing of electron will take place against rule. So what will happen? Directly I am writing nickel 28 2 plus. Okay, so it will be 3d8. Let me directly write. Now you understand what I mean. Okay, after that 4s0 and again here 4p0. Is that clear? Okay, now see here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 7, 8. But what happened here? See here. Here Cn minus is strong field ligand. How it is? How is it? Strong field ligand. Therefore, due to spin pairing effect, which effect? Spin pairing effect, we will get what? We will get such a type of drama. 3d8, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 1 2. So see here how pairing of electron occur. Against rule. After that 4s0. Is that clear? And here again 4p0. 1 2 3. Okay. Now see here. Now 1d, 1s and 2p orbitals are available. D2. Sorry, dsp2. Okay. Which is what? No doubt. Again, like first one, it is the inner complex. Okay. It is the inner complex. Given how many hybrid orbital? 4 hybrid orbitals, each having name D2, dsp2. Okay. Now each having what? 4 hybrid orbitals having name what? dsp2. Now all these 4 hybrid orbitals filled by a lone pair of electron given by strong field ligand like cyanide. Okay. And hence there is a formation of 4 coordinate bond. How many coordinate bond? 4 coordinate bond. Okay. Now see here. In this way we could form inner complex. This complex is called as what? Inner complex. Now no doubt geometry will be changed. How geometry will be changed? See here. Here geometry will become how many? Here geometry will be. Here geometry will be. Now see here. Change. Square planar geometry. How many? Sorry, what geometry? Square planar geometry. It will be like this. What is that? Nickel, Cl, sorry, Cn, and Cn. Okay. So this type of geometry is called as what? Square planar geometry. Okay. So I am writing here dsp2 type of hybridization. It is inner. Okay. Now see here, there is no unpaired electron. All the electrons are paired. Therefore n is equal to 0. Okay. And that's why magnetic moment according to formula will be equal to 0. And hence it is what? Diamagnetic. How? Diamagnetic in nature. Diamagnetic in nature. So today here we have seen 4 complex. Definitely in the examination one of the question will be there, and really trust me, it's very easy, and that's why you could not left such a type of topics. You could not leave such a type of topics. Okay. So this is about the applications of VBT. Based on what? We can explain the structure of the various complexes. Inner complex, outer complex. See here, inner complex are due to the strong field ligand, outer complexes are due to the weak field ligand. Okay. But this theory cannot sustain for longer time because it is totally grasped by many more limitations. In next topic we will see the limitations of VBT. Okay, so now we will explain what are the limitations of VBT. That is very important. Okay, in short, now see here. Next topic is what? Limitations. Limitations of VBT. Now see here, first limitation. It cannot explain the spectral properties of the metal complexes. Spectral properties of the metal complexes. After that, it cannot explain the magnetic behavior. Which behavior? Magnetic behavior of the complexes. Now see here, here we can calculate magnetic moment by formula, but it cannot explain the magnetic moment which is arise due to the orbital motion of electron. Orbital motion of electron. Okay, next. It cannot distinguish. This cannot distinguish the complexes, I mean to say it cannot distinguish between the inner complex and outer complex. Okay, inner complex and outer complex. After that, it fails to explain the complex formation by same metal ion. Why same metal ion form inner complex as well as outer complex? This fact cannot be explained by the VBT. Okay, after that, see here, VBT cannot explain the rates and mechanism of many more complexes or many more coordination compounds. Okay, after that, it cannot explain the order of reactivity of inner complex formed by D3, D4, D5 and D6 metal orbital. Okay, after that, it could not explain the difference between low spin complex or high spin complex. Listen here, inner complex are nothing but the low spin complex where there is no unpaired electron. Outer complex is the high spin complex. Such a type of distinguishedness cannot be explained by the VBT. After that, why geometry is there, I mean to say it cannot explain the distinguishedness or difference between the tetrahedral and square planar geometry. Why particular element form tetrahedral complexes, why particular metal form tetrahedral and square planar complexes. Such a type of difference could not be explained by the by the valence bond theory, and that's why valence bond theory is totally grasped with a lot of limitations or drawbacks. In next video, this is up to 4. In next video, we will see the new bonding theory available for the coordination compounds. Thank you.